What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Rapper Cat Podcast. I'm your host, Mike the Young OG. I got my new co-host for the month, my dog, Jay.
What's happening?
All right. I would say introduce yourself, but you're a returning person. So,
yeah,
you know.
I won't gonna do that anyway, so we here now.
Follow through performance.
Follow through performance. I mean, hey, we the best trainers on the East Coast. We do strength and conditioning.
Facts.
Athletic training, group training, anything that you can possibly dream of. If you want to, need some work, need to get better, holler at me.
For sure. Even though, I be out working him sometimes. I ain't gonna tell y'all where, but I be out working him sometimes.
If y'all believe that, just take a close look at the camera. Just look at his arms.
Hey, we done. We done.
That's all we really need to know.
So, you know what it is. I gotta give you a top 3.
Okay.
So give me right now your top 3 NFL players in the NFL right now.
Oh, just overall?
Overall. Not even offense, not defense. Overall.
Oh,
I better hear somebody naming this drum.
I mean, you got to go with Aaron Donald for
Facts.
sure.
That's all I was
got to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's a lot of. Ooh. I'm a defensive guy though, so I'm pretty biased on this. I'm pretty biased. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh boy. Yeesh.
Dang. I would say, from an offensive standpoint, I really, really, really like Derrick Henry.
Oh yeah.
Just because he that old school guy. He get it in and get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's number 2 for me. And then I gotta go with one of my young boys that was a rookie last year, Patrick Surtain II. At corner, he's a dog. I like that guy.
Damn, I can't believe you left Debo out.
Debo Samuel. I mean, look, if you're gonna watch this, my boy, I need you to, get that contract negotiation done with the squad. So, come on back to the crib.
I don't know about that.
He
can come to Green Bay though.
No, Aaron Rodgers took all the money.
He can come to Green Bay. We can make something work.
No.
We can make something work.
This ain't the NBA.
We can make something work. I'll make a little call. We can make something work. But nah, man, today, for real, I feel like we be talking about this stuff all the time. Like growth in general and just moving through different phases of our life. I feel like we talk about that every day. So like whether I'm doing something crazy at work or you threatening me at work, something like that. Like I feel like we talk about this joint all the time.
Right.
So for me, I feel like in the last 2 weeks, probably 3 weeks, as you know,
right.
Your boy, like I really just had the time to like reflect and really think about like my decision making, as well as moving forward, like how to maneuver when it comes to like a different phase of your life. Okay. Instead of like being more so like messy and kind of just moving and taking it as it go, like how to be proactive when you feel like it's another like chapter of your life that you're trying to move into. But I've been having issues with that, John, because I be looking and I'm like, oh yeah, like it's about to shift. Like let me try to do this to like delay that shift, but it already be there.
Right. I mean, I would say this: change is gonna happen, but you gotta let it happen organically.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you feel a shift coming, I necessarily wouldn't say it's your job to actually navigate or try to coerce the shift on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of sort of have to be the person that understands what that shift means before it even moves.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it does move and you have to just adjust on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say sometimes it's just best for you to go about your daily habits and try to just let it shift on its own.
Yeah.
Versus trying to be like, okay, I feel it coming. Let me force it. Let me try to put myself in a position or the best position. So when it actually comes to fruition, I'm ready.
Yeah. I feel like I got control issues low key. Like I got control issues because I'll be like, yeah, like this is going how it's gonna go. I'm so hands on with everything that when I can't be hands on, it be like,
yeah. I mean, to a certain extent, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the best, some of the most well known people in life are like actual control freaks.
Facts.
But they're hard to deal with.
Extremely.
So, I mean, me myself, I'm not I'm a control freak when it comes to my household because I'm a big creature of habit.
Mm-hmm.
So I want my household to flow a certain way to ensure that I'm going to always lay down in some type of peace and love at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, outside of the house, I mean, I love working out. Other than that, I don't necessarily have too much structure like I used to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just due to kind of understanding I cannot control everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the moment I realized I couldn't really control grown people around me and I just had to control myself, the easier life became for me.
But I wonder, and just like off rip, how, like, I know how you get there. I've been there a couple times.
Right.
But like, it's a certain amount of peace that you gotta have to be in that spot, to know like they could do something crazy tomorrow and I still gotta be able to be like, okay, cool, next step. Like, I can't just
Right, but that's a mental fortitude, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That comes with experience, and so I mean, some people don't necessarily have to go through nothing drastic to even possess that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So for those that don't have to, go through nothing to obtain that type of peace, I mean, I applaud it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that too with growth. It gets into a space too where a lot of people think your growth is measured by like what you can handle, and you are what you go through. So it's kind of like, all right, if I could go through this, then I'm gonna be this. But in actuality, sometimes it really just be like, well, I went through this for no reason, and I gotta go through it.
My parents raised me on a bump your head theory.
Mm-hmm.
Get enough knots on your head. I mean, it's either you're gonna apply the ice, which is the lesson, and when it goes away, you move forward, or you take the ice off a little too early, try and jump in and get another knot. So, I mean, some people do take experience and actually learn like they're supposed to and move forward. I wouldn't be the one to say everything that you go through does not have a lesson behind it. It might be minor, but something that you go through has some type of application to move forward in life. So even if it's, I'm off work, I know I need gas, but I'm gonna wait until the morning. Something that minor. You know what I'm saying? And then people wake up next day, you're late. Something that minor, people don't look at it as an application of life to be, to be on time or just take the extra 5 minutes to go pump some gas so you can just get up in the morning and go straight to work or whatever you got to do. That's an application of life.
Right.
So I wouldn't be the one to be like, I went through it. I didn't have to go through that. I know I needed to go through that.
Why do people feel like that though? Because I feel like somebody's like, it's a lot of people now, especially in this generation, that I didn't deserve that, or I don't deserve to have to deal with that. And I'd be like, bro, like, everybody goes through stuff they don't technically deserve.
Okay, look, bro, that whole deserving word is for me. You got to tread lightly on it, because just due to the simple fact that a lot of people go into a situation with the utmost integrity and with the best intentions, they feel like the outcome of what happened they didn't deserve. Okay, I got you. I understand that. But for me, being one of those people that are like very optimistic on things, it's like, okay, it's some type of silver lining in this. So that deserve word is woof. Because as soon as somebody so you're in a situation and somebody be like, Mike, I didn't deserve this, and you like, the mere fact that they said deserves throws the situation to a whole different round.
Exactly.
So
exactly,
I wouldn't necessarily sit here and say you don't deserve to be in this situation. Were those actions towards you merited? No.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
However, in every situation, everybody has to understand what just happened can either be applied both ways,
Mm-hmm.
negative and positively,
Mm-hmm.
or you can just focus on the negative.
Yeah.
It's all in perspective.
Yeah, that word deserve is so
Yeah.
subjective. It's like I didn't deserve. So what the question like after that becomes like, okay, what do you feel like you deserve?
Right.
Because the other
You
person
gotta-
might not see it that
You
way.
got to be open to that too.
Facts.
A lot of people are not open to like actual literal emotional feelings of how I felt like I should have been treated in this.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a receptive thing. That's very hard to receive.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you start talking about like criticism and it's constructive,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Because everybody is already like in their head, they've already what's the word? They've already calculated what they believe that their worth is.
That's a
rightfully so. But at the same time, it's kind of like, oh well, how much of that is justified with actual fact, and what can you do to actually prove that okay, this is what I deserve?
right.
And
And then it all depends on the person that you're dealing with.
right.
Because a lot of people can paint their own what I'm giving you in regards to what I feel like you're worth based on the situation that y'all been in together
Mm-hmm.
or somebody else has told them or what
Exactly.
they've seen. So when somebody gives you their worth out of their mouth towards you,
Mm-hmm.
that's when it get dicey.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's undermined or they like, oh well, huh? Who you talking to?
Mm-hmm.
I don't deserve X, Y, and Z,
Mhm.
and that's where the disagreement comes in,
Mhm.
and you know that's where relationships tend to take a downward spiral for real, for real.
I feel like a lot of times, a lot of people don't understand what's warranted and what's not, though. Like in terms of like, this is, you may have not deserved it, but you got it because of this, and this.
That's dicey to say, Mike.
I feel like that happens a lot of time because it'd be like, no, that probably, you probably didn't deserve that, but it got warranted because this door was open. And
Right, but
like,
that's all in perspective, though.
Right.
You can't necessarily project that onto anything. Like
mm,
just because I'm feeling something
mm,
or my emotions want to dictate this situation,
mm.
my emotions don't paint the actual reality of what's going on.
So how do you balance that though? Then if you got two people who got emotions and they both are led more by emotion than
Common
logic.
ground. You gotta find it. You gotta find common ground. Like, bro, look, I got some OGs around me that'll tell me quick, fast, in a heartbeat. Like, it's especially in a relationship. It's not just about you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you got kids, if all that stuff gets involved, it's really not just about you at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since you put yourself in that situation, what are you really going to do
Mm-hmm.
to edify each other in that situation? The only way you can really move forward is if you reach some type of common ground.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, disagreements are going to happen. Sometimes you're just going to have to agree to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. But at the end of the day, that common ground got to be met, and we both are grown. We can't be led by emotion.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole what word can I use? There's a whole embodiment of trying to make sure you're making the right choice for each other. But
Mm-hmm.
there's also something that I'm learning now.
Mm-hmm.
Being 30 is also a level of being selfish that you have to obtain
Mm-hmm.
and have to maintain in order to make sure I'm being heard and I'm being treated fairly and I'm doing what I got to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I be looking at it too from a perspective of in a relationship or like even with like friendships, it's kind of like whenever there's a disagreement, like all that other stuff goes out the window. It's more so like
It's me.
I'm trying to protect myself.
It's the me show.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
like
it's
I don't want you. I hear what you're saying, but I don't want you to dismiss what I'm saying. So like
Yeah.
acknowledge my stuff, so I
Man,
can acknowledge yours.
That comes with growth, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
That comes with growth. You
For sure.
can't you can't necessarily sit here and tell me what you're saying outweighs what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we're getting into a shouting match because I feel like I have to interject my emotions even more for you to hear me.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was able to sit down and rationalize out the spirituality, the emotions, the mentality, and the physical presence of the situation, and I embody all that up together,
Mm-hmm.
and I know who I'm dealing with, especially if I'm dealing with you in love,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't necessarily deal with a lot of people that I don't necessarily extend my love to.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if I rock with you, I got some love for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I should know how you are in these type of situations. It's my job to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, if I'm embodying all that up and I'm making a sound choice, I ain't gotta yell.
See, that's the point to where I would say, I don't want to say triggered, but that's the point that'd be frustrating me with people, because I'd be like, I feel like I'm one of the most detailed people I know.
For sure.
And then when you break it down and you be trying to tell somebody, like I had a situation where it's like, all right, cool, I'm trying to tell you like how I feel about something, and you upset that I'm not telling you basically like what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people get upset. Like I'll use our relationship as an example, like me, you and Trey.
Right.
We don't like give each other updates like all the time. Like,
Nah.
it don't be like, hey yo, this such and such has happened. Something big happened, we like, hey,
Yeah.
story time, like let me catch y'all up to speed.
Yeah.
But most of the time, like it's like little stuff, or like we just be like, hey bro, same old, keep it pushing.
Right.
But like people, like when something big happened with me, I'd be like, I trying to remove myself. But I don't be explaining it to nobody until I can kind of figure it out.
I mean, I'm the same way. I retreat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It's something big happening. My first initial instinct is not to reach out for help, like right then and there, because I don't necessarily know the help that I need just yet.
Right.
So for me, it's more of especially when you start attacking your spirituality, you know, and you're rooted in your faith in whatever deity that you're a part of or whatever deity that you serve. It's for me, I have to be like, okay, spiritually, what am I going to do with this? You know, and then I'm going to feel my emotion. Now, I do have points where I neglect my emotion, and it gets me in trouble. I'm learning that as well. But the physical presence of the situation is not going anywhere. So it is, for me, I'm growing. Sometimes I am able to digest and decide rather quickly. But that all is in the magnitude of the situation. If it's new to me, I'm definitely retreating.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I'm definitely retreating. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm no. And it's no like personal vendetta or personal feelings towards anybody in this situation. It's just one of those selfish like mantras that I'm trying to practice right now. Like, it happened, so me.
Yeah.
Only way I could be able to take care of you is right now me need some attention. That's okay. That was a hard thing for me to learn. I didn't necessarily understand that me had to do it first. Because if I can't do it for me, I can't do it for nobody else.
Yeah, I got a philosophy. I don't know if it's bad or not.
It's probably bad.
I doubt it. My philosophy, I explained this to like multiple people. It was like, all right, if I'm going through something, I'm not going through nothing petty. Like all my stuff to me ain't little, because all the little stuff I'm brushing off like, okay, that's part of life.
So you're saying, but that's something that's so subjective. That's only for you.
For me, I feel like my life is so cushiony. I really don't have much to complain about.
Oh, see,
I don't have a lot. I don't really have a lot to complain about. It's really more so me nitpicking.
Right, but is that because you're particular? Like,
Absolutely.
Are you really embracing who you are at that point?
Absolutely.
Because some people are just so detail oriented that if they don't have the detail, they cannot function. I'm
detail oriented, but also I know myself well enough so I can always be able to be like, most of the time, like, I feel that, like, let me just go ahead and retreat, like, or let me just go ahead and like confront this situation about myself and like come to an agreement about it. But my biggest thing is I don't vent for no reason.
Oh man, I vent all the time.
I don't vent for no reason.
I got, so like for whoever gonna watch this podcast, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I probably got like 3-4 people that I call at a drop of a hat. You know what I'm saying? One of them, man, shout out to man, I love you, baby. That's my homie. You know what I'm saying? So I can call her the drop of the hat. And she got so much love for me that it's not, she'll never, ever be biased towards me. Ever.
That's good.
Like, she'll never do it. She'll never do it. If I'm wrong, first of all, she gonna cuss me out. That's a fact. I'm probably gonna get chewed out for about 20 minutes. Then she gonna follow that thing up with some reasoning, like, okay, this is why I feel this way. And then she's gonna end it out with, okay, what do you exactly feel after this conversation? And then she's gonna end it out with some love. And that within itself helped me grow as a person. And it helped me parenting too. Like with E. You know, E can get out of control sometimes. And yeah, I mean, he's his father's child.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, he's very stubborn. He's very persistent. So, and sometimes he'll look at me and he'll test me, for sure. But it's all in the why, the correction, and I still love you. And that fosters a relationship of, okay, Dad, I understand. But Dad's still going to love me even though I mess up. So for me, the venting is great. It depends who you're venting to. Because you need it.
I don't be venting for real. Like, I feel like it's like maybe outside of my parents, probably like 3 people, you being one of them. I don't really vent.
But look at this though. So I love my parents. We kind of grew up in the same household, right? I love my parents to death. But the evolution and the issues and the problems and the day-to-day life compared to where they were in life at our age, it's totally different.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? They put us in a position to be better. Like, I'm 30. I'm 30 years old. I'm in a better position as a 30-year-old than my parents were at 30. You know what I'm saying? But having said that, they did their job. So if I ask for some advice, it's going to be sound, and I greatly appreciate it. But is it going to be applicable to what I'm going through right now? I can't necessarily say that.
Yeah.
It's hard.
With venting with my parents, mine is more so I'm explaining the situation, give me some wisdom. Like, general wisdom. I'm probably not going to get your specific advice. Right. Because you don't really know.
Yeah, the ins and outs.
Yeah, for sure. But outside of that, like, I probably say I got like 3 people. But outside of that, I don't feel the need to vent because I feel like if I'm venting and you can't help me or you can't give me advice, I'm literally just.
Oh, so that's so crazy.
I'm just I'm just complaining, and it's not making me feel better.
What? Bro. So look, I'm gonna say this, and this is just me. This is what I've learned. Sometimes venting doesn't necessarily mean advice needs to be given back. It's just a session or a place or a moment where just saying something alleviates the pressure. And you have to be okay with that. I don't always have the best advice. So if I don't have the best in your situation, it would be completely ignorant of me to share something. Sometimes I just need to listen to you. And just be like, all right, bro, hey, think it out. We can chop it up again. Do what we got to do. But sometimes I just need to listen to you. I'm going to be real with you. I ain't got all the best advice. Probably never will. But some things I do say or some things I have been through can help you. But even then, it's not the best advice for you. Because again, you my dog. But I'm not going to know every detail of your life. That's impossible. I'm not going to be with you every step of the way. I'm not going to, something might happen. And a key sentence might be forgotten in a situation that'll turn my advice to something totally different.
Facts.
So at times it's okay just to vent. It's okay, bro. Like I don't necessarily consider venting complaining, especially if you feel like you got to vent. Something wrong.
See, I don't be feeling like I need to vent. I think that's probably the issue. I really be like,
we're gonna have to recommend you to somebody.
I'm
that's
like,
crazy.
I'm fine. But I'd be like, I'm gonna figure it out. Then when I figure it out, I'd be like, I told you I was fine.
Nah.
It be happening every time.
You neglecting your emotion at that point. Or you gonna have to mature emotionally, bro. You gonna have to, because at a certain point, For instance, say you in a 6-7 year relationship, and y'all about to tie the knot, and the only thing she tripping on you about is, Mike, you always holding your emotion. What are you gonna do? You love this girl. What are you gonna do? You gonna mature emotionally, or you gonna let that be an issue? Because she'll never be able to take care of you emotionally if she does never heard you speak from emotion. Because you're always trying to bottle it in and figure it out on your own.
See, I feel like when it's new, I'm really not gonna vent. Cause I don't even know how I feel. I'd be really at a standstill with myself. Cause I'd be like, I don't know how I feel yet.
That's a lie.
That is not a lie.
That's a lie.
That is not a lie.
You're a human.
I really don't be knowing how I feel sometimes.
You're a human.
Perspective wise.
You're a human.
Oh my gosh.
Like, bro, like, real talk. If anybody, if you're in a situation and your first initial like throttle is high emotions, okay, I got you. You got about 5 minutes of high emotion for sure.
No, I got like 10, 20.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. It's just, again, it's a growth plate that has to be pushed for a lot of people. Like, like, you know me. You see me at work get mad instantly. I get mad, I'm instantly venting. Instantly.
Facts.
I'm getting it off. Like, I'm getting it off. Something happened at the crib. I'm instantly venting. I'm getting it off. Because I know me. If I let it sit, I turn into a hermit crab. Once I turn into that hermit crab, I'm not coming out of that shell until I want to.
Yep.
But that creates an environment of like
uncomfort.
Yeah. Like, how are you gonna deal with me? If I feel like I can express my words and my passions and my love towards you and how I'm feeling in this situation, right, wrong, or indifferent, what am I really doing in here? What I'm doing in here, bro? Like, come on now. Where at a certain point, my love has to be extended to you, and it has to come back. Do you love me in my moments? And the only way you're gonna be able to know is if you get it off in a right way.
I don't know what that is then, because I really don't. I don't feel like I've ever been just like, I want to vent, or unless it's like been like a crazy situation. I'm like, no, I need such and such, or I need to talk to such and such. I really don't be feeling the need to vent.
Bro, you know me, I'm petty. I vent about anything at any given time. Like, we be at work, I will vent to you about our boss right in front of our boss right to you.
Facts.
That's just who I am.
Yeah.
Because I've learned it over the years. If I foster an environment where I let it build up, eventually I'm gonna blow up. So it's not in my best interest to sit on something when I know I can regulate my emotions. I'm a grown man. I need to mature. I need to be able to be like, okay, these are my emotions, but I ain't gotta yell them, but they're going to be heard. And when you hear them, I will hope they would be received. Now, after the reception, that application, that's where it get dicey. Yeah. Because now that you done heard me and you say you received it, I need you to treat me accordingly, because that's what you want from me. So at that point, I feel like a lot of people hit a wall when it comes to the application part. We don't necessarily know how to treat each other properly. And that's why people don't want to vent.
Yeah. I think my joint is basically like, once I process my emotions, I do take my time processing my emotions. I feel like everybody who know me, you're not gonna rush me. Okay. Whatever it is, like, I'm gonna take my time. Okay. If I gotta be at the podcast and I don't wake up in time, I'm running late. But I'm not gonna like put pressure on myself to be like, skip your face routine, skip this and this.
You're always late, dog, so it don't matter.
I was on time today.
You always late.
Right now I was on time today. So that's my thing. So I'm like, when I'm processing my emotions, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm writing my notes down, jotted in my head. I'm like, all right, cool. So by the time that like it's time to come to you with whatever it is that I gotta say, I have a PowerPoint.
But don't that sound calculated?
Absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. So for somebody that'll be emotionally mature in that point, they gonna be like, I don't know if this is real emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Cause now you're presenting it to me as if, like you said, more of it's like a PowerPoint presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, some situations you cannot just say what you feel,
Right.
Cause
Yeah.
it'll get crazy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I owe it to myself to give it to you in the rawest like form
Mm-hmm.
that I can possibly give it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more and more I calculate it, and the more and more analytical I become, I feel like the feeling of it dissipates. And then you're looking at me like, he trying to be my dad, man. He trying to teach me a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, this is my man. He's speaking out of his love.
Mm-hmm.
Or this is my friend. Or this is my brother, cousin, auntie, uncle, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
They're speaking to me from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you can still speak from the heart down the road, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the way you made it sound, it's like, dang.
Oh, let me expand on my analogy. Like I'll go ahead and I'll analyze myself.
Right.
So I'll be like, I'll break it down to like a science.
What did I do?
What did I do? Why did I feel this way? And I'm like, that's why I felt this way. And I'm like, all right, in relation to this, that's why I felt this way.
You got to check yourself too,
And I'll
though.
be like, huh?
You got to check yourself too.
How?
You might have contributed to it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You
absolutely.
gotta check yourself. I always lead with me.
Mm-hmm.
If I did X, Y, and Z, I
Mm-hmm.
apologize for this.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if, again, understanding your person's love and what they do for you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand, like, oh, okay, yeah, that's on me.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize for that. Your justifications for what you're doing is not an excuse as to why you're here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just to get them to understand, like, hey, this is where we're coming from. This is how I got to this conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the floor is yours. But when the floor turn over, a lot of people like to jump and no. You got to listen.
Right.
You got to listen. So it's one of those things. Again, I'm 30 years old, but I'm still learning that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, and that comes with a selfish desire. Like, I know at the beginning of the day, I'm calculated throughout the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
I do the same thing day in, day out. The only time it really fluctuates, it's like Friday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, Sunday through Thursday, you can call me at 3:33. You know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know exactly what I'm doing. Like, the breakfast I done ate and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, now I'm learning the negative connotation of being selfish is actually one of those things that's been misconceived due to people doing it too much.
Yeah, overindulgence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's like you got to be way more intentional in starting your day with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I can't give it to me, I don't know who's going to give it to you.
Right.
Because it's going to be a gap that day.
Mm-hmm.
And some days you just can't give it.
Mm-hmm.
And you hope and pray that your partner is one of those people that can do it for you. Or they can jumpstart you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so other than that, I wouldn't advise being calculated like that. I wouldn't. That's just my personal opinion. From what I've learned, I wouldn't. Being calculated makes you seem robotic. And then your approach always seems something like a classification of a lesson versus a classification of I'm speaking to somebody that I actually care about. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. And if you put that in your heart and you understand that, I got a good feeling you'll know how to express your emotions like very, very well.
I feel like I do be getting really overwhelmed when something big happen, like with some shift. Like I said, I'm super routine oriented. Like
Right.
you're worse than me.
Yeah.
But mine is like pretty much every day I'm gonna do the same thing.
Right.
But I might throw a curveball in there just cause
you can.
Yeah, just cause I can.
Right.
But most of the time, I'm gonna be at work. On the weekends, I'm gonna do a podcast.
Right.
Photo shoot, something like that.
Right.
I'm going somewhere to eat. That's what it is. But I feel like,
I mean, maybe you need something different.
Yeah.
For me, I'm learning that as well. Like,
yeah. That's why I throw a curveball in my day every day. I try to.
I don't necessarily provide curveballs for myself.
What you mean?
I just let life kind of like flow, and then it has its way of throwing it itself. Because if I try to provide the curveball, I'm gonna be like, no, I don't want to do it, because I'm already so in lock with a routine. I'm just gonna be like, no, because it's like for me, bro. Like, I know I'm starting laundry on Thursday. I know I gotta be done by Friday night. I know that, because if it gets over into Saturday, I'm screwed. I know that. So anything, if I possibly throw a curveball into that routine, it's really gonna drive me crazy.
See, I throw a curveball in my free time. So I'll make myself do something like uncomfortable that I don't want to do, or something that I don't normally do. So I'll be like, instead of going straight home from work, like take a drive around the city.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
I'm like, or instead of like going into work and putting on like a podcast of sports, read a chapter in your book. Like,
book. I'm not reading. That's dead.
See, I'll do stuff like that, and that'll be my curveball for the day, and I'll feel good about myself.
I have been exploring like learning an instrument, but reading,
it's tough.
It's not for me.
It's tough.
It's not for me, bro.
It's tough.
I can't even fathom sitting still for an hour reading.
You could put a audio book on and listen to it while you're working out.
Still not doing it. I need, like, bro, I mean, you know me, I listen to R&B when I work out. I'm not necessarily one of them guys that's out here listening to, you know,
a whole bunch of hip hop, rock, all that.
Yeah, no, that's not my thing. So like, when I'm working out, that's a place of peace for me. I don't want to be hearing nobody talk about anything, unless it's something motivational. Other than that, give me my Beyonce. Let's rock this thing out. You know what I mean? Like, give me that. Yeah. Give me that Beyonce. Let me work out. But like, other than that, like, I've had more curveballs this year in my life than anything I could possibly ever dream of or imagine. So I feel like organically I've grown so much this year just due to the simple fact that it was time for it. So I like your method to it though, the whole curveball thing. I like it in your free time. Like, just drum up something and just go do it. Creates the spontaneous vibe that a lot of people desire. So I definitely get that, but you can have the reading, bro. Start a book club.
Hey, nah, I ain't gonna start no book club, but I do try to do something, because I feel like for me, I be at work dumb early in the morning. So I'm like, if I could fight my sleep for like 45 minutes while I'm reading this book,
right?
Like mentally, like for the rest of the day, I'd be probably straight with whatever comes. Because I'm like, I'm coming into work cockeyed. Like, if I can fight this drum, we good.
I feel you on that. That makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, nah, that ain't for me, bro. By the time you get to work, I'm eating a bowl of oatmeal. Yeah. So it's like, no.
Yeah. Bruh. But back to the venting thing. I really don't feel like, I don't know why, I really don't feel like I ever, like, not ever. I do vent, but like when it's something real big, I really be liking to have my stuff together before I say something.
Nah, I don't.
Because I be scared of what I'm like, I don't want to say the wrong thing and have to go back and be like, you know, I really didn't feel like that. I just said that because that's how I felt right then.
That's just emotional maturity. Once you learn how to like really, really pack in your emotion and literally hand them things out like you passing out notes, I feel like it would be fun. Because for me, I'm not much for words, but when I say something, I'm gonna hit you with something. So it's not gonna be one of those things where it's like we in an argument. I look at you like this. Why are you talking the whole time? Like, I would literally give you the blankest stare, and then it'd be like, "Are you even hearing me?" I'm like, "Yeah, I heard you, but are you done?" Because guess what? I got the floor now, so you gonna have to listen. And that's when, for me, I've been able to grow, because I know I don't need to talk first.
Yeah.
I'm more the guy that's like, I already done thought this through. Because just like now, like, Ray can talk to me. And I know her so well, I speed the conversation up in my head. So I already know where it's going.
Right.
She might throw something in there that'll make me be like, but even then, we're going to get back on track. You know what I'm saying? So that's just emotionally understanding the situation you're in, right? And it might not make sense a lot of the times. We all know that.
You just throw it in perspective.
You just gotta throw that thing in perspective, bro. Like, she can say a lot of stuff out of her mouth, and I just be like, that makes 0 sense.
But okay.
But word. That's who you are. That's how you feel. That's who you are in that moment. And if I call myself loving you, I have to love you for that moment. And I have to digest it in that moment. But just know, you know, you had your first half. I'm about to make this third quarter Steph Curry run right quick.
I feel like if anybody who knows, you know that speaking first is honestly not the best thing ever. It's not, because you get to get all your stuff off, and the person gets to sit there and listen, and they already done digested what they got going on, and then they come back. Normally that second flood is kind of like, ooh, I won't ready for that.
Nine times out of 10 you're going to overtime. Yeah, for sure. You're going to overtime. Some I've seen some people actually be able to just run the 4 quarters and be fine. But again, that comes with emotional fortitude, knowing each other very well, understanding the situation. But for the most part, I know me growing emotionally over the past like year or two, I still got some things to work on when it comes to that. Because I know for me, my mouth it gets sharp, very sharp. So, and you don't necessarily mean to be that person, but at that moment, that's exactly how you feel. And that's when tactfulness comes in. Like, baby, I love you, but X, Y, and Z. Without saying,
yeah, I feel like
that they the bottom of the gum on your shoe. You feel me?
I feel like mine is more so like, it feels like know-it-all like type thing. It's kind of like that, because I'd be like, for one, I know you better than you know yourself. Like with most friends, with anybody, I'd be like, I know you better than you know yourself. So you can't sit here and pitch me ideas and feelings that I know in perspective.
That's control, man. You? That's control,
Think
bro.
so?
You gotta let people be them.
I do, but at the end of the day, I be having to remind people.
How you gonna know somebody better than they know themselves? Do you necessarily really know that? No.
Yeah, if they confirm it, I do.
See, nah. Especially in that moment, that internal temperature of emotions can be crazy. Like, you don't necessarily, they might have never ever let you know what that actual temperature is. They just give you a gauge, and that's the only thing that you can really work off of. So
that's true.
You really think you know. But that's why I say the rawest, like the most pure thing you can do for somebody is tell them exactly how you're feeling. But you got to have some tactfulness into that. Some people can, in a relationship, I done heard relationships with people cuss and fuss at each other. Yep. And they get it. They like, all right, bet. I love you. To me, that's crazy.
Crazy. But it works for them.
It's all in perspective. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy part of life, is perspective and expectation.
So then what would you call it then if every single time, well, maybe not every single time because that's not realistic, but most of the time, I say like 90% of the time, somebody throw their emotions at you, you able to compartmentalize them, give it back to them, and be like, I know you probably feel this, remember this, and like adding everything else in there, and you be able to package it back to them. They're like, dang, you're right. What would you call that?
Knowing your lover. Doing your homework. Like, I like, again, I tell people this all the time. If I know you and I talk to you consistently, I got love for you. It's my job to do my homework on you, to know you.
Facts.
So if a situation is coming up and I know you can't handle that situation, why would I do that? To me, that's being selfish. You know what I mean? So for me, like, in a relationship, you don't really got to say much to me. I do a lot of observing. So like, it can be July. I'm like, babe, I really like these Oakleys. I'm like, yeah, they all right, they hard, yeah. We not getting them today. You know, I won't say that. And I'll be like, well, how much it cost? You know, like 150. I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. I remember it.
Facts.
And then, you know, Just Cuz gift on September the 16th.
Exactly. Papa, here you go.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Or you notice body language after a long day. Like you've seen that body language before. So you be like, hey, I'll be right back. And that's the day you run to the store and do something. You know, a nice little gesture to try to pick up the spirit because you noticed it. But again, that also comes in being able to step outside of yourself and actually pay attention to the person that you're dealing with. That's a skill. That's a skill. Some people have to be spoon fed, that type of deal.
Yeah,
That's a skill. So you got to be able to necessarily put yourself in the position to thrive in your partner's love language or your friend's love language. You got to thrive in order for them to maintain it.
How do you maneuver that though? Because I feel like I got low patience when it comes to.
I got plenty of patience, baby.
And I got low patience when it comes to like if I'm doing like, because I put so much effort into like friendships, relationships. I feel like, all right, cool. Like I'm doing my part. Once I notice like you're not really observing, you're not really picking it up, I be like,
you're looking for you in the other person. That's completely unfair.
I don't know about that. I feel like that's
an unreal expectation.
I think I'm looking for effort. So I feel like if you're not trying,
but sometimes effort isn't the effort needed, and you're still in the same box. So if it's a genuine thing, it's going to work, regardless of how you see the effort being played out, for sure. If I'm sitting here telling you, just like at work, I'm like, hey, Mike, I know this a lot, but go take care of that for me. You gonna be like, I bet. I ain't gonna say nothing to you. I don't expect you to do it the way I would do it. I expect for you to do it the way Mike is gonna do it. And whatever that is for Mike, as long as we come to the same finishing line. And people confuse that effort with you have to put in the same effort and it looks exactly like my effort. That is an unreal expectation.
Yeah, I don't feel like it has to look like mine, but I feel like it should be noticeable. Because a lot of times,
you need physical evidence.
I wouldn't say physical evidence, but it's like I always be overanalyzing stuff. So I'll sit back and look and be like, I'll think of something from the other day. I'm like, I remember he told me to go do this, and this at work. And whole time, like, he been asked me to do that, but I had already did it. But he asked me to do the same exact thing again. And I'm like, dang, I just got that. So like with friendships, relationships, I'd be like, I asked you to work on this, and this, and I just noticed like 3 times in a row you handled it the exact same way after I told you that didn't work for me. I'm like, that's interesting.
Oh, I got you on that.
Yeah.
I got you on that. That's a fact. Yeah, I got you on that now. Because the only way you're going to be able to grow is if you have like live situations to prove that you understand that you need to grow in that situation. And people try to put growth in the funnel, saying growth is subjective. For me, growth is growth. If it's supposed to help you, what are we waiting for?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But it's all in maturity too. So that's like, again, that's the stage I'm at now. You just got to learn how to let it go, because at the end of the day, the control is only.
Yeah, it's only on you.
It's only here, man. Like only things I can really dictate right now is baby boy. You know what I'm saying? Like Elijah and Judah, those are the only things I can really be like in dad's hands. You know what I'm saying? But even then, practicing my spirituality, only have but so much control. Right? So it's like, what you gonna do? But get up, be thankful for it, and just go throughout your day. Do the best thing that you can. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, dog, it ain't gonna really flow the way you want it to flow. Yeah. So you just do the best thing you can.
Yeah, I'd be relinquishing my control, but I'd be like,
no, you don't.
Whenever that joke get out of hand, I'd be like, let me go ahead and
I've only known you to relinquish control probably like 4 times. Easily.
I relinquish control to people who I trust.
And you barely do that.
I don't feel like it's not barely.
Do it. Bro, I've literally looked at you sometimes and be like, dog, no, you should not. do that. Like, no. And you know you should do it. And you just be like, Jay, I don't care. I'm still gonna do it. I'm like, all right. Like when it happened, when it blow up, I'm not gonna ever tell you I told you so, but I'm gonna give you that look like you a wild boy. You're wild. Like, for real. Man, that's all you can really do. Like, I know it's hard to relinquish control because you feel like if everything is in your grasp, in your reach, nothing's gonna falter because you're dedicated to it. But if it's meant to be, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
that's a fact, and you just gotta trust in that. Like, you're gonna have your peaks and valleys, your ebbs and your flows. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be one of those things like, I'm gonna lay my head down. I did everything I could, bro. Like, I did everything I possibly could. And you have to find peace in that.
Yeah,
you have to, bro. Like, you have to find
I
peace.
do gotta work on that because at the end of the night, I'm like, all right, I go to bed peaceful. Like, I'll go right to sleep. I don't got nothing that's like, like, might be something that's bothering me, but I'm like, I go to bed. But when I wake up in the morning,
it's on you.
I might beat your pedal and pull a string here and be like, all right, like, yeah, you doing good, but come over here, like, do this. That'd be my issue. Like, all right, I'm gonna give you this. Like, this is yours. Run with it. Do whatever. Even with the podcast, I'd be like, yeah, run the page. Appreciate you. Then I'd be like, too wild. Pull that.
I feel you. This is your creative playground. I got that. This is your direction. You started this, so I understand that. But in totality, just like with me, like with follow through performance, I understand I have full control of that. I understand that completely. But the external things that come along with follow through performance, I can't necessarily change it, move it, groove it, do whatever I need to do with it, just because it's not in my internal grasp. And I have to be okay with that. Because at the end of the day, if it's meant to be, practicing my spirituality, working in my faith, it's gonna happen. Like, I started follow through performance. How old Eli? Dang, he about to be 3. I started that thing.
What, 2017?
28. Yeah, 2018.
2018, yeah.
2018, and I didn't really have a direction for that thing. I just knew I loved working out, and I wanted to help other people do it. And as I went through it, the dedication I had to put into it was crazy, because it's really like an infant. Like, you're really taking it, nurturing it, growing it, feeding it, doing whatever you got to do to make sure it's getting where it needs to get to. And fast forward till now, to the point where you just like, it just flows. And that came with me relinquishing control, trusting, understanding the process, being okay with the process. That actually came with me having to be like, I'm out here working 18-hour days, bro. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, personal training before work, going to work, personal training after work, coming home, taking care of E. And you like, I understand I had to go through that to get to this point, but it was more to it than helping and collecting the checks and making sure E was going to be straight. Now, it's more to it than that. And you got to be able to sow these type of seeds on fertile ground. I actually learned from somebody. When I was in therapy, the lady actually told me I started follow through performance on fertile ground. Literally. And that shook me to my foundation. She said I started with the wrong purpose. Because I understood my situation, and I only took follow through performance at first for monetary gain. I didn't want to implement it for change or helping. It was initial, to be like completely honest, a money grab to secure my son. Man, she told me in that instant, I started this on Unfertile Ground.
Wow.
So that, and bro, this was what, I was in therapy in January and February. I just got over that.
That's crazy.
I just got over that. You know what I'm saying? But you go to places like this and you experience stuff like that, so you can get an understanding of what you need to do moving forward. And Lord and behold, I accepted. And next thing you know, a chain of events happened for follow through performance that probably would not have happened until I understood that.
Mm.
And that again comes with seeking clarity and relinquishing control. So like in personal training time, I'm doing the face. I might not be as successful as I need to be because I still might be doing it for the wrong reasons.
That makes sense.
You can do the podcast that you blow in the face. It's not going to be what it needs to be until you understand that you need to operate in fluidity and trust in the process and being okay with, the ebbs and flows of this type of thing. So that's where I'm at right now. And it's been cool. But it's been a humbling experience. Super humbling. Like, I probably have had, personally, I mean, work-wise, I probably had a humbling experience every month this year.
Oh, my God, yes.
Every single month. And, like, it's really stretching me spiritually. Like, getting me back to, like, my roots of how I operate. It's really stretching me. So, like, you'll notice, like, even at work, I used to have a colorful mouth a lot. Like, I used to just cuss and fuss all the time. Now it's more geared towards, like, I ain't got to do all that.
Yeah.
I can prove my point here. And you gonna understand it because you need me. Let's be clear.
Facts.
Let's be clear. So, and personally, even with Eli and Judah, like, just witnessing Elijah being a big brother has been a humbling experience. He loves just like I love, and it's very weird to see. Very weird.
That's crazy.
Like, it's very weird to see. He'll be the guy that be like, I love you. Get on my face. Like, I love you, bro. Like, I love you, but come on, go do your thing because I'm doing mine. But when I need you, you better come. He gets that from his dad. So it's like, but again, like, just practicing what you need in life and understanding your own personal needs. That was very hard for me. I never really necessarily knew my own personal needs until I was 30.
That's crazy.
30
That's
years
crazy
old.
to really think about that.
30 years old. I used to put everybody else before me. It didn't matter who you was. It was just like, all right, yeah, I love you, so I want to make sure you're successful. And then constantly just putting myself on the back burner. And then when you honestly sit down and you start getting a little selfish, you'll notice a lot more things start to happen for you. So over like the past year, since I started accepting contracts for the brand and stuff like that, it's been easier for me. And then my time constraints have became way, 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 way less constraining than what they used to be. So I'm able to hit you up on Saturday and be like, yo, what you trying to do? Type deal. Versus when I first met you, I'm like, nah, I got to train on Saturdays. And I got to get you on Sunday, so no. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could pull up, though. But other than that, nah. Like, it's way easier for me to do my thing. And it feels good to do my thing, but it's still new to me. So, yeah, that's very encouraging for me. Like, if you don't understand the self-value in putting yourself first, I actually would advise.
Oh, for sure. I'm all for it.
We know. We know.
I'm all for it.
I definitely would advise for that. So it's definitely something that I advocate for. And therapy. It works wonders.
1000% therapy. 1000%. Last question. How do you feel after all this? Like, how do you feel then that you kind of, I would say, push people, like, or push whoever it is in your life, like girlfriend, boyfriend, mom, auntie, cousin, whatever it is, like, instead of just trying to, I guess, maybe like the word is trigger them or to
ignite them.
Yeah, ignite them. How can you more so just invoke change in them or try to push them towards change if you can without like being controlling?
Personal, bro. That's a personal thing. Like, I can't do anything for you that you're not willing to do for yourself. You know that. You got some people in your life that's like, you like, bro, you can really do this. And they be like, yeah, I know. And you be like,
do it.
So what's up? It's personal. Like, I can love you. And I had to learn that too. I had to learn those type of people from a distance. I spoke life into you, bro. I did my part. I still love you. But at the end of the day, we all got things that we need to do. And that starts with the individual. Because if you can't contribute to the we, I don't know what we're doing here. So that's more of a personal choice for me. Like, I can't dictate my time to invest in you to get you to do something that you desire to do. And if you don't do it, I'm questioning your desire.
Does that put the friendship relationship in question too then? Or is that just more so like a mental note?
I'll put you in a box. Ooh. Like, I'll put you in a box. Like, this is how you are. That don't mean we can't be cool. You know what I'm saying? But this is how you are. And this is who you are. If I call myself being a genuine person, I accept that. I accept who you are and what you can do. At that time in life, I have to accept it. What I'm going to do? Kick you to the curb because you quote unquote not on my level? I'm not going to say all that. Now, when it comes to love and stuff, being in relationships, oh yeah, you might as well go ahead and get the big boot out. I'm kicking you out the door. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, you the homie. You want to do this. If you don't want to do it, okay. But understand I have things to do that I need to move forward on. So if you want to put yourself in that box, that was a personal choice. What I'm going to do? Coach you up? Hold your hand? I already got two hands to hold, bro.
Exactly.
I can't do that. So for me, it's a personal choice. And I don't mean to sound like a butthole on that, but it's like at a certain point in life, it's one of those things where you just gotta be who you need to be. And it's either you gonna lace them boots up like I always tell you, lace them boots up and let's work, or you gonna be in a recliner.
Yeah, that's a fact.
There's really no sugarcoating that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I wouldn't necessarily say I would not deal with you anymore, but I would not be in the presence of growth with you. You're gonna stifle that.
I'm actually gonna use that on somebody.
Man,
I will not be in the presence of growth with you.
Yeah,
some people be like, what?
Some people you just can't grow with, bro, and that's okay. That's okay. That's your life. Like organically, you'll outgrow each other. That's life. Like it's just you gonna be like right now. I'm older than you, but you can be way more mature in certain areas than I am, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa, or whatever it is. So you got to be okay with stuff like that. People cannot accept that.
I can accept it. It don't bother me.
Man,
to my benefit.
To your benefit.
If you're better at something than I am and I'm hanging around you, it's to my benefit.
Yeah, but people not going to look at it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you got to ask yourself that question. What you going to do?
What you mean?
The same question you just asked me. What you going to do?
I used to test people a lot. And be like, I'm going to put you in the exact same situation, just a different scenario.
Okay.
And I'm going to see how you handle it.
Okay.
And I'm going to be like, and if you don't grow, after I keep doing the same thing over and over, I'm going to do insanity for myself just so that I can see you're not going to change. And then I'm going to get the boot. But now I feel like for me, it's more so along the lines of extending grace. That's one of my Achilles heels. I don't extend a lot of grace. So I'd be like, okay, cool. Because I feel like there's grace factored in already. I'm like, there's natural grace factored in, and then I factored my grace in already. So why would I triple up on grace if I already factored it in? But I'm like, that's not right. Because I know my parents then tripled, quadrupled, and like my friends then doubled and quadrupled my grace.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like now I try to engage it like
you can't take the hand away that you was dealt. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got to pass that down.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely got to pass it down. And like I said, always practicing and relying on your spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
That starts over every day.
Yep.
So
that's my thing.
hey, and the fact that you understand it and then you know it, I mean, that's a step forward.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a hard thing to do. That's because you think in a linear pattern.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You think very logically. So it's like, no, that doesn't. Why would you do that?
I think logically and futuristically, I'm like, if you don't get this done now, or if we don't get this done right now,
effect.
I'm like, this is gonna affect this, and this, and this, and this, and this.
Yeah, but you gotta. It's a grace in it. It's grace in that
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Like me working hard to get to the point where I'm at right now. I had to learn grace for me. For me,
Facts.
like dog, you really doing it. You tripping if you feel like you need more right now. It's always great to have more, but show yourself enough grace to give yourself the opportunity to see that you're actually flourishing out here.
Yeah, that's my issue too. I definitely don't. I have a thin margin of error for myself. So whenever I mess up, I be like
hypercritical.
All right, we got to do this, this, and this, and this. I'm scrapping my whole plate.
Yeah, clean it up. But that's hypercritical, man. You gonna make mistakes for sure, and at that, every mistake gonna have some type of cost to it. That doesn't mean it defines you, though. You know what I'm saying? So you take that, and like I said, it's all an application. You made the mistake. Did you correct it? Do you have some people to apologize to? Do you need to extend some forgiveness to some people? Do you need to extend forgiveness to yourself? You go through all that whole cycle, try to pull out the best thing you can pull out from it. The only thing you can do is move on. But you got to start with grace.
Yeah.
Got to. You got to, man. Because if you don't, trust me, that's where the hypercritical, like, nuances come from. Like, even if, like, you're a basketball player, you're hypercritical when you shoot the ball. You know when it's about to be off. You know it. It's either, oh, yo, it's off, and fix it, or you know it's off. Dang. And it's on you for 3-4 minutes. Now you missing 5-6 in a row.
No, sir.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's the mentality that people carry. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, I messed up. And the next thing you know, 5-6 months, 5-6 years down the road, they like, this mistake dictated where I'm at today. No, it didn't. You let it.
Yeah.
You let that. So you got to extend yourself some grace. So like I said, if you can't extend that to yourself, you can't extend it to nobody else. And if you are, that means you're completely neglecting yourself.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's a lose-lose situation. You can't
Eventually, that's gonna catch up.
You can't catch L's your whole life. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit here and expect for other people to extend something you're not extending to yourself. It's not being exemplified. So, like, I'm hypercritical of my workouts when I post workout videos. If the form ain't right or I compromise my form, like, if you're around me while I'm editing a video, it probably takes me like 2 hours. Because I'll be like, my elbows on tight. I ain't getting 90 degrees right there. Too much rocking, too much movement, something like that. And I'll put it together. I'll post it on Instagram. And I'll go back to that video and be like, yo, what was I doing? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's a teaching moment for me. But I was at a point where that was stopping me from posting. Because I wanted everything to look perfect when something like working out isn't perfect. And you have to adjust that, and you have to literally translate it into your everyday walk in life. Nothing is going to be perfect. You might feel like it's perfect, but it could be like a minor detail that'd be like, if that was there, bro, that would have been crazy. But take it for what it is. You got to take that for what it is. Like, it's like, okay, that video is dope, bro. I'm like, yeah, appreciate you. It could be better though. Like,
me,
I hate people like that. Like, I used to hate that for me, but now it's like, all right, bro. And then I'm more apt to posting like bloopers, or if I'm doing something wrong, I'm more apt to stopping what I'm doing and being like, let's correct this. And then I'll post here is what not to do, and here's what you should be doing. You know what I'm saying? And that comes from people hanging around people like, you know, Josh Macklin. Shout out to Josh, you know what I'm saying? The GOAT of photography. That's my guy. But just being transparent with yourself with anything. You're going. That's a part of growth. You're going to make a mistake. Every video is not going to be sharp. Every video is not going to get the views that you want, and that's okay. You just got to put your best effort forward and make sure it's sharp. Make sure you're meeting deadlines. Make sure you're meeting timelines, and making sure you're doing things that you can do, but you can't necessarily project that out into your client. You know what I'm saying? So like that within itself for me was, again, one of them like Josh used to get on me if I was not posting.
And I'm with Josh.
Like he used to be like, hey, like if this is what you really want, understand the content need to come with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's when we started forming a team and stuff like that. The next thing you know, now Josh might be the strongest photographer out here. You know what I'm saying? He be hitting the gym sometimes. He might be hitting the gym. So it's like it's contagious. Your work ethic in your field can actually translate into somebody else's. And that's the biggest blessing that I can really give back to anybody. It's just the contagiousness to work hard and do what you're supposed to do and be dedicated. And that's where I know follow through performance is always going to succeed. Not because I can bring in the money, but I'm actually fostering an environment of, let's get to it. And that's what I rest my head at every night when it comes to the brand. I don't never really worry about it. So I just be like, okay, cool. And, we at the L. Shout out to Thomas Dale. You know what I'm saying? Coach Rogers, all them boys out there. We just work hard, man. You know what I'm saying? It came to a point where we just all understood we might not have the best of the best on the court, but we going to work. We're going to put ourselves in the best position to do it. And, again, that comes with hanging around people that understand it. Josh understood it. He instilled it in me. I passed it along. And then now I'm taking the company, AJ and Cash and all those boys. Shout out to AJ, shout out to Cash. We the best on the East Coast. Holla at us.
Facts.
We do our thing. We do our thing, and our proof is in our work. So when people ask, like, what we doing, what we got going on, check the page. It's going to speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? And, AJ, shout out to AJ, shout out to Cash, man. Like, they really took the responsibility of like, making this thing do what it do and took it to a whole nother level with me. So I'll be forever in debt to them boys, you know what I'm saying? So, AJ took the whole opposite side of Follow Through Performance, bam, and just took it through a roof.
That joint was crazy.
Yeah, and he's still doing his thing. So that's pretty dope for us too, man. But again, that all comes into, the original question. It has to be personal. And you got to surround yourself with people that take that personally. And you create you a nice circle with something like that, man. You become dangerous.
Facts.
You become dangerous, man. Like you can become an overnight sensation with people that took the route of just like, we're gonna put our head down and work, and bam, next thing you know, mom and daddy retired, but mine's already are, but you know how that go.
Yeah. Dang, closing scenario. I kind of want to say this question for the last episode of the month. I kind of want to ask you now.
Man, get creative, man. You be all right. Just throw the question out there.
I'm asking anyway. All the smoke. I be stealing this question all the time.
Okay.
Well, not all the time. Actually, this is the first one. I'm gonna use this on you. 5 dinner guests that you can have dead or alive.
Ooh,
yeah. 5 dinner guests that you can have dead or alive.
I gotta put my boy Jay-Z on there. That's my dog. You know I think he the GOAT. My dog Kobe. Gotta have Kobe at the table. I really, 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 really wanna my dog Obama. What's good with you?
Shout out to OBZ.
You know what I mean? I gotta put Beyonce there because I love Beyonce. I love me some Beyonce.
Okay, so you have the Carters.
Yeah, the Carters gotta be there. Can they just save like one seat? They occupy seats on their own.
I give you. I'll let Beyonce sit on Jay, so you got extra seat.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Brian Dawkins. That was one of my. That was really like coming up playing football. Just from a standpoint where he wasn't really about antics, and he was very, very spiritual and driven. I would love to have a conversation with him.
Brian Dawkins.
I feel like he'll probably say some real heavy duty stuff to me that'll be like,
thought provoking stuff.
I could probably play football tomorrow. Like real talk. And one more person. I gotta put my grandma on there, man. My mom's mom. I love her to death. Rest her soul. I would like real talk. That was my dog. That was my dog. Yeah, I gotta put grandma at the table. That's the homie. As long as she bringing some food with her too.
Should cater for the dinner.
Yeah, just make sure everybody's straight. But yeah, my grandma was like pivotal. Like pivotal. So like yeah, if you put grandma at the table along with the other homies, oh yeah, we gonna do something. We gonna do some damage.
That's a good list. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I mean, cause like for me, I used to watch Brian Dawkins highlight tape before every football game. Junk called Weapon X. It's like 13 minutes and 49 seconds. Like, yo, that thing was inspiring, and I don't care how much I watch it, that junk still give me chills. So like, his approach to everything was clean. It wasn't necessarily like the whole gimmick of I'm big, I'm a star, I'm in the NFL, I can do X, Y, and Z. It was always an approach of like, I'm here, I'm blessed to be here. I'm gonna take this talent and use it. I'm gonna get off the field, and I'm gonna go home, and I'm gonna be who I'm supposed to be at home. To me, that's very clean. You know what I'm saying? That's some people that's hard to separate. So yeah, go check out that Weapon X joint.
I gotta go watch it now.
Big dog, I see you, big dog. But yeah, that for football. That was my guy. Kobe was one of those just flat out just let's get to it, bro. Like let's just get to it, dog. Like, no matter what was going on, like bro, you ain't got no excuse. I played basketball with a torn labrum, my boy. What's your excuse?
Facts.
I taped up a broke finger and he won a championship with a broke finger. What's your excuse? Like, one of those things. Like, he made you put a lot of stuff in perspective. Like, it might be a lot going on in life, bro, but you still got stuff to do. That's my dog. Like, Jay-Z and Beyonce is just one of those things where it's like,
moguls.
Started from the bottom, now we here. Like, what else you got? And they turned their music and career into an actual like business empire. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely something that you can aspire to be. Not granted, I ain't musically inclined at all, but to take what I do and hopefully turn that into something like that to be fire. My dog Obama, you know, from the political side, he held it down. You know what I'm saying? He did what he had to do, and he still chimes in and try to do the best he can and be a family man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Still trying to raise his daughters out here, right? You know what I'm saying? That's a hard task. You know what I'm saying? Married, got a great wife, stuff like that. The prototypical household that you would want to have. Of course, I'm pretty sure they had their own issues, but from the outside looking in, it's pretty fire. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's pretty much why my table like that. If I'm at that table, I'm pretty sure I'm getting all the business savvy I can get.
Yeah, you getting a lot.
I'm getting the do-how, and then I'm always eating because grandma gonna make sure I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that within itself, that's why I say my table is always gonna be something that's near and dear. I'm gonna be able to pull something from. And that's how I kind of operate my table now. I got to be able to get some type of fluidity back from you that's gonna help me because I'm trying to help you too. So yeah, I feel like if my table like that, I'm Gucci. I'm
not mad at the table at all. The Brian Dawkins thing, I definitely got to go back and watch
Weapon X, bro. I think it's 13 minutes and 49 seconds, bro.
I'm about to watch.
Crazy.
I'm gonna put that on in the morning time so I can start working out.
Yeah, you might get stronger listening to that, John, bro. You might. Who your top 5 though? Listen to me. No, I'm listening. Who you got at your table?
I definitely got Kobe. That's a guaranteed.
Mariah Carey.
Y'all. We ain't doing this. I got Kobe for sure.
Okay.
I want Malcolm X at the table.
Okay.
I only want Malcolm X because I feel like he's way more like irrational.
Rational guy.
Yeah, but he's also very educated.
Oh,
so
for sure.
I would want to see what the balance is between him and Kobe, because Kobe is so logical and like thought provoking. I would want to see like them two specifically have like a conversation about something, like their approach to something.
Okay.
Because I feel like they have similar mentalities but different methods.
Oh, for sure. I can see that.
Dang, who would? I would probably say. Ooh, I want give me Pac at the table.
Pac. Okay.
I want Pac at the table because he like another Malcolm, but like from a whole like cultural standpoint.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
And he's a little bit like irrational, but also super educated.
Yeah.
Like I like different people's temperaments, like to balance to see how that conversation would go.
I got you.
I want to say give me Bill Russell.
Ooh.
Give me Bill Russell because he didn't seen it all. He didn't been through it all, and he played in a time where literally racism was still intact. Like we're still walking to different stuff. Okay. So I got racism and age and all that, and just overall perspective covered.
Yeah, but so yeah, one more, bro.
The last person that I probably have at the table would be, I need to break it up. I need to break it up, so I probably would go with somebody like Michelle Obama.
Ooh, okay.
Because
her book is crazy. It's great.
I gotta read it.
The book is good.
But yeah, Michelle Obama, I feel like she would break up all that because like she's next to the most powerful man. She was next to the most powerful man in the world at one point for 8 years. Mm-hmm. So her perspective and her influence probably is like 1,000 times underrated. And she has her own opinions on certain things other than Obama does. Right. So I would want to hear how she balances that table, because I feel like she'd be kind of like the mediator.
So she'll be at the middle of the table for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
And I'd be sitting right next to her like, what we got? And I'm sure Michelle Obama could probably cook. So I'm covered on that.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But I'll probably have Ma Dukes.
Ma Dukes going to be there always.
She going to cater.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Mom Dukes.
So she'd be in the back.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that.
I think that'd be my five.
All right. That's solid.
Yeah.
That's solid.
I
can definitely see that. I mean, yeah, that pedigree at the table would be crazy, because everybody got a will to like actually like win at the highest level. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a fiery table.
Bron would probably be if I have another guess, he'd probably be on there. Because just off the fact that Bron is so methodical, that I would like for somebody to challenge him.
From a business savvy point. Okay.
I would like for somebody to challenge him. Like Kobe and Bron's methods are two totally different methods. Like LeBron is going to implement a system that is supposed to be fluid.
Kobe and if it be like, give me the ball.
Exactly.
I'm going to do this.
And I want to see them go back and forth. Or him and Bill Russell to go back and forth.
That's 2 against 1. It'd be Kobe and Bill Russell versus LeBron.
I say it'd be Bill Russell against LeBron when it comes to race too.
Why you say that?
I feel like Bill Russell is more so. I feel like LeBron is definitely for race, but he's like way more calculated. Like the situation with China, like he's not dipping his foot off in that from a business standpoint. But Bill Russell, he like,
I ain't got nothing to lose.
I ain't got nothing to lose. It is what it is. Right is right. Wrong is wrong.
That's a fact.
So,
all right, I got you on that.
Yeah, Bron be my waiter.
Bron will be the Thanos. Hey, Bron, he ain't mean that for real.
Not like waiter, you know what I mean. Like he'll be there, like just dipping in, dipping out. Yo, what's up, y'all?
Oh, all right, okay.
Yeah,
we hosting it at your house. That's what he mean.
Facts.
Okay, bet.
Facts. School of Promise, whatever. I appreciate you, of course.
No problem, man. Anytime. Y'all know I don't normally do this, so yeah.
He'll be back for one more episode.
Yeah, I'll be back the whole month, so it's all love. So come check my boy out, Mike the Young OG, Rapper Cat Podcast. You know, I pop in and out on here just for the love. not for the publicity.
For sure.
Check my guy out.
Yeah, you can follow Jay at Follow Through Performance on Instagram. No funny spelling all the way through.
Yep.
You can follow me, like you said, at Mike Dango G on Instagram. Rapper Cap Podcast, RAPORCAP Podcast. If you follow on Twitter, remove the T and add the 1. And I know we won't capping, but y'all can tell us if we rapping the capping.
Yes, sir.
Naughty by Nature. Y'all thought I forgot, but I didn't forget.
He forgot.
The Oats on Oats soap bar. Definitely be using this for my eczema on my back, face. Like, it helps get all the dark spots off. It's a little warm in here, so a little melted a little bit. But this is one of my favorite products by her during my facial face
exfoliation.
Yep, exfoliation. See, you need to be an ambassador too. Exfoliation and just getting dark marks out your face and just making sure like that you take care of your skin is definitely vital for you whenever you're doing your face and your skin care.
Every man needs a skin routine.
Every man needs a skin routine.
Remember that.
So y'all go shop Naughty by Nature and use code Mike10 for 10% off your order. I'll be forgetting to say that. Yeah.